right? They go to career fairs, and when they're at their career fair, they have to meet 1,000 kids, 2,000 kids, 3,000 kids. Half of them are going to be unprepared and not worth their time, right? So it's a lot of, like that day we just described how their day is going to go, not that great, right? They got to meet all these kids that are going to ask them what they do for their company, if they can move to their Japan office after the first year, how much their salary is. Like, you would be amazed how bad these questions are these kids ask, right? They have to deal with this all day. Not a really like qualified group of people for them to interact with that are going to be good people they can show off and that are going to make them impressive, right? So if they can get access to 20 people that are all really, really qualified, or 40 people that are really qualified and good and interested, that saves them so much hassle, right? So if you get to be a delegate of that group, so if you're representing your student organization and you want to get money for a project, and you say, hi, I'm Kelly, like, here's my whole elevator speech, here's my card, like, this is why I'm awesome. They're like, oh my god, like, you're a breath of fresh air. Like, you're awesome. Like, are there more of you, like, that I can reach without having to do all this, like, you know, circus stuff at this giant convention center? Yes, in fact, there are. I represent a group of 20 of me, and they're all really qualified and really good at what they do and really prepared and want to work for your company. Oh, like, how do I get access to them? They are willing to pay money to get access to those kids, because that's how they make their money, right? By getting access to you. So if you say, there's 40 more of me, and you can have access to them if you sponsor a project, done. Like, that $500 that they give you is worth those 6 hours of torture for them, right? Always. This makes logical sense to you guys, right? Like, this makes sense. So I know, like, for like PBL, you guys are probably gonna have to like ask for sponsorships for your national tour. That's what Shrug was telling you. For SIFE, you're gonna need to ask for money for all kinds of projects. For your company, you're gonna need to ask for investment for people. So it's gonna be a little bit different asking for investment. But when you ask companies for money, there's a couple things to think about. This is a kid asking for his allowance. That's what the picture is. Don't feel like a kid asking for allowance from their parents. It's not going to work. Like, they're not going to see you as a grown-up. They're not going to think that your plan is legit. It's not going to work. You need to have the confidence that you know that you're worth the money, right? So we are all really awesome, right? Really good at what we do, really qualified candidates for the job. We believe in the people that are on our team. The people that are in SIFE, the people that are in CEO, the people that are in PBL, the people that are on the sales team, women in business, whatever club you're representing, you believe that they are worth hiring. You want to see your friends get jobs, right? So it'd be really good for the company to get access to people like that, so you save them all this time. So if you really believe that you're saving the company time, and you're saving them energy, and you're helping them find qualified candidates, then it's worth a lot of money for them to do that. If you believe that, you can sell it, right? So you're not going to go out and say, hey, like, I have a bunch of kids that are really qualified, it'll save you a bunch of time, you should give me some money. You can't really say it that way, right? It's not going to work. So what you do need to say is they need to like show interest in you. So first you need to get them impressed, whether you want to work for that company or not. So it doesn't matter if you want to work for them or not. You need to like kind of flirt a little, kind of like, you know, lead them on a bit, and it's totally ethical. Don't worry, it's going to be fine because they're going to meet somebody in your club they're going to hire, right? It might not be you, but it's going to be somebody. So they're going to be happy with that because that one hire is going to give them way more than $500 in revenue, way more, right? 10% of $50,000, way more than 500. So make sure that you think of yourself as an adult and you understand your value proposition. So your value that you're offering them is access to all these students. And then think about what you want them to do. So the other thing that they want is not only access to students, but like companies like Walmart, really big companies like Home Depot, like what do they want to see more than anything in the world? They want to see a newsletter with pictures of us wearing t-shirts that say their company working with like inner city youth, or building a greenhouse, or doing some like really good social responsible project, planting some trees. Because that means so much for their PR, right? Big bad Walmart. Here's a picture in the newspaper of them sponsoring some really philanthropic social project. That's so good for their PR, right? That's really, really good for them. They will pay so much money to have that happen. And we're the ones who are going to do that. So if you want to do a social or like kids winning awards, right? So if you win an award for doing something that's really cool or really interesting, then they get good positive press. And positive press is invaluable to huge companies, especially ones with bad reputations. Right? So think about what they want. So what do they want? Do they want that picture? Do they want that hire? Do they want good press? Do they want to network? Do they want to get access to your sophomores? Do they want to hire somebody for a leadership training development program for 1 weekend in Boston? Do they want to get an intern? What does the company want? And then that's what you give them. And you just ask them for money. And that's how I got $10,000 last year. So I would approach companies like Walgreens, and I would say, hi, like I'm Kelly, I represent this project, we've got this group of students and we need to incentivize them to come to our workshops to learn success skills, and we can't get them to come because they're inner city kids and they don't have jobs and they don't have any incentive to come. They used to have an incentive but the government cut that program. So we need $20 gift cards, we need like 100 of them. So that's quite a bit of money. will you please give that to us? They said, we only make gift cards at $40. So is $40 okay? Yes, $40 is fine. Thank you. Done. So I'll have another workshop specifically for asking for money. That's the 4th workshop, how to get Fortune 500 companies to pay for your ideas. And I'll talk more about proposal writing and getting all that stuff approved, getting to the right level of contact. There's a lot of stuff involved in that. But the first step is going to the Career Center, making that rapport, building that rapport, showing yourself off as a delegate. Because if you're a delegate of the company, of your club, and they believe there's more of you, then the next time you meet and ask them for money, it's going to be way higher chance of success that it's going to work out. So that'll be in the 4th workshop if you guys are interested or you have friends that want to do that. Career fair tips, this is the last slide. So, oh my god, look at all those people. Like, it's insane. Those are like tables with like science boards and then tons of people. Who's been to Selma Features before? Okay, well let me just tell you. Like, there's a ton of people. It's in the Civic Center where you guys had like your orientation, where you guys were inducted into the like university. When you had to listen to the president talk and you had to like pass the torches and all that stuff. Like it's in that giant building. Like where the basketball games are, it's huge. Tons and tons of people are going to be there. You have to wait in line for like 10 minutes to talk to somebody, sometimes 20. So don't freak out. Like don't be nervous, don't be scared, don't be worried when you see all these people. You guys are going to be dressed really well. We talked about that. You guys are going to have your resumes ready. You're going to have business cards if you have them. You're going to have your elevator speech. That's the most important part. You guys have your elevator speeches. You know what you're good at. You did your research on the company. You know what companies you want to talk to. You know why you're going to be the best person for that job. You know what jobs they're posting. You are so prepared. You guys are the stars of this whole career fair. Everyone's going to be so impressed by you. So just think about that before you get freaked out. Right? The other thing is use your time well. So you might only be there for an hour, right? You probably will only talk to 6 companies if you're there for an hour. There's like 100 companies there. So pick the 6 that you want to talk to. Just like when you go to Disney and you have to pick out the rides you're going to go on because you can't stay all night, pick the rides you're going to go on. Pick the companies you're going to talk to. And figure out a little map of how you're going to do that. If somebody looks at you and they look really desperate, like they want to talk to you, you don't have to talk to everybody. Like you don't have to talk to the companies that you don't know who they are, you're not interested. They might want to talk to you, and it might be good for you to talk to them if you have the time. But if you're on a really tight time schedule, you don't have to talk to everybody. You don't have to talk to people that look like they really want to talk to you. Because if they look really desperate, they might not be a good choice for you. But if you have the time, talk to as many people as possible. Companies that you don't want to work for, companies that you would never want to work for, companies that are small, companies that are big. If you have time, talk to everybody. Because first of all, it's practice, right? Go find a company that you would never work for first. Find like a company that you think is stupid and you would never work for them. Talk to them first. Get all your stupid stuff out. Make your mistakes in your elevator speech. Forget to give them your resume. Like say something really stupid. Do that for like 2 companies that you would never work for. Just to like practice on them, right? How's that going to hurt? So practice on the companies you want to talk to. Then go talk to the real ones. You've already done your warm-up. You're ready to go. You remember what you did wrong. You got this. And then when you're done, talk to your, bonus companies, other companies that you think like, oh, maybe like one day I'll work for them, or I know a friend that wants to do a project with them one day, or like maybe they're cool, maybe they have a cool leadership program, like whatever. Maybe they have a free bag, like, I don't know, just go talk to them and see what you can do. And you never know how that friendship is going to turn into a future sponsorship, or a guest speaker for your organization, or a trip to, some foreign city for a leadership training conference just for funsies. Like, you never know. I've done all those things. Like, you're never gonna know how that's gonna turn into a friendship with a recruiter. Or like recruiters are friends with each other, by the way. So like recruiter, because that's their job, right? So they hang out all day at this crazy event, they bond with each other. So if you impress one recruiter, they're gonna talk about you later. They will, it happens. Even though there's 100 of them, they will talk. They will talk about you next year. They will talk about you next month. They will email each other about it. They will LinkedIn each other about it. So it doesn't hurt to make a couple friends at the recruiting fair, especially if you guys have a lot of time, if you've got 3 semesters or 4 semesters where you can do this. So I think that's all I have for you guys. This was a little over an hour.